Here we go. And here we are, guys. Want to welcome today a relatively new partner to Blam, Mr. Peter Blantanis. And today I'm going to ask him a few questions about his business, about his experience. The goal is with this little chat is to help existing Blam partners that are in the early stages and help them with advice and what Peter's done to grow his business. And also for prospective Blam partners, if you're wondering what it's like a few months into a Blam Partnership Programme, then Peter is a great example for you to actually look up to. So, Peter, absolute pleasure to have you with us. Do you want to just tell us who you are and name of your business and where you're based, etc.?
With pleasure, Grant. Thanks for having me. Really cool to be here. As Grant opened up, my name is Peter Blam Partner. My company name is Product Ark, digital marketing specialist from South Africa, and I am based in Johannesburg, and more specifically around the Meyersdal area. And I started with this journey a very long time ago, and that's where I am right now.
So you say that with a smile on your face. When did you first become aware of the fact that you really wanted to get yourself into digital marketing?
It was March 2020.
Oh, really? Okay. So tell us a bit about your background, Peter. What did you do prior to becoming a digital marketing consultant?
So I've been in a variety of backgrounds, to be honest. As a youngster, being a Greek, I started my career in a cafe. And in South Africa, any corner shop that's around, it was usually owned by a Greek. We would sell your traditional toasted sandwiches, and we made some really great food. I started the business with my brother, and it went pretty well for a while. And then I just got stuck there and I needed to move, and I went into the corporate environment. I sunk my teeth into accessories manager. Then I went into marketing management. Then I got into product management. It was all sales related, business development management. My background is just like this puzzle that all came together when it came down to partnering with Blam, and that's the honest truth. So my background has a lot of interesting little tips, but the biggest one was this: is that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I wanted to add value, and I wanted to go into the market space with something really unique. And that's really the journey. I mean, if as a Greek, I'll just give you a bit of a background. The general career path is cafe, supermarket, spa, which in our area, in our country, spa is a big company. And then you start becoming a multimillionaire, and then from there you just buy properties, and then you start planning your retirement. That's generally the career path for a Greek youngster. And I did the complete opposite.
And never regretted it, I hope.
No, not at all. I mean, you get boxed in. You get a bit of boxing. You feel it on the chin every now and then. Your choices, your decisions, things like that. But all of it has really geared and tailored and provided a skill set that is very unique in the way I go to market and how I speak to clients. Because really, I mean, I've been speaking to customers since I was 6 years old. It's just second nature to me, having a conversation and just being open and authentic. All of that has helped tremendously to where I am today.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you first joined us, say, was it March 2020? Is that when you first sort of started looking?
Yes, it was by chance. I got onto the website, excuse me, and the first person that got in touch with me was Ed, because he is super fast. Speed and automation for Ed is like just second nature. We got into the conversations, had wonderful meetings, both with you and with Ed, but it was a bit difficult because financially it wasn't easy for me to get into it. So it took really about a year for that to become a reality.
And so you actually joined us then. What date did you actually become a full-fledged partner?
5th of May.
5th of May. Brilliant. 5th of May. Yes. It's all right. I know that it's the day before my wedding anniversary. So that was
Wow.
you saw the cogs going. I know that date. It's close. So tell us about how that went then. So from when you actually you signed up, you took the plunge. What was those first sort of few weeks like?
The first weeks were exciting. Taking the plunge was like a no-brainer to me. I mean, I knew that this was the right way to go. I knew that Blam Partners and Blam Websites is a reputable company. I mean, we had many discussions around there. So the plunge was really the commitment that I could get into. So I got that, I got it done. And then I got into what I call the information, knowledge, the background, getting onto the Blam Partner the partner training. And sinking my teeth into the methodology, the understanding, the thinking, the skill sets, how the websites work, the editing side, both website and mobile app. I mean, the information was ridiculous. And I say that positively because you've provided so much to really take with me and assist me. But it was a beautiful journey. But also at the same time, I had to get to study. I had to sit down and take real action and make what you've provided a reality. And that was the
That's it.
first few weeks. I had to get that Blam partner training done. I had to become, of course, certified to be a Blam partner and then get out there. So believe me, the anxiousness of that whole series was like, I just want to go out there and start talking to clients, but I can't do that yet because I want to first do the training. So that was the
Yeah.
first few weeks that I got into.
And you, at the time, you had a full-time job.
I did.
You did, yeah. So
Yeah,
so
I did.
that was a challenge because and also we had and you were still working despite I think you were in and out of lockdown around about that sort of time.
Yeah,
But
100%.
you were still working.
Yes. Well, fortunately enough, I was able to still work. And then while I was working, I was doing the studies and getting all the information in, taking notes. So it was quite a nice. It was a challenging balance. But one thing that I can say is because I was so committed that I absolutely loved this platform and what the vision was, that it wasn't something that I had to like decide to make time on. It was something that I made time and I actioned that so that it can happen.
And that comes from being inspired and doing something that you enjoy. It doesn't feel like a chore.
Absolutely.
It doesn't feel like work when you love what you do, and you can see
No,
that
absolutely.
in your enthusiasm. It's infectious. It really is. It really shines through. Um, so
Thanks,
so
Grant.
no worries, mate. So then what I want to talk about next is because I think that what's really useful for people that are watching this is understanding you were in full-time work when you started. Your ambition was always to be running your business full-time so that you didn't work for somebody else. Talk to me about that journey.
That journey was it was a tough journey because here's what happens, and I think many of us will either relate or not. But when you're working and you have a set salary and you are able to say, all right, well, I can pay expenses and I can do the things that I need to do and stay above water, is one thing. It's a good thing, and it can get in the way. It can be a distraction from actually following your dream. So I had to make that call, and I knew from the very beginning this wasn't going to be an easy journey, but it was going to be a worthwhile journey. And the worthwhile part that I'm talking about is saying, okay, so set salary to my own paycheck, huge difference. Own paycheck means I got to be committed, I got to be driven, I got to stay focused. I have to go down this path with everything I can. Otherwise, then why get into it in the first place? So I just went in it with everything. And even though the challenges were there, I knew one thing was for certain. This is the right thing to do. So I made it. I balanced it out. I worked at the shop and I made sure that that was getting done. And then building onto what Product Ark was going to do and how we're going to get into how I'm going to promote it and get new clients. It was daunting because you think to yourself, okay, but who do I know and how do I get out there and how am I going to build this client base? So all of these it's all happening, but there's one thing that remains: the product set, what we offer, what's available is so good that it's not something that I have to go and convince someone to do. It's go out there and introduce it. And
So that's a
that's been
nice way
really,
of looking at it. I like that.
yeah.
Yeah, you
I mean,
introduce it to them.
I had to. I knew I had to move away from the job. I knew I had to do that. I knew that it was going to take a lot of courage, because then I don't have that set salary. And then in my mind, as a business owner, I'm thinking, how am I going to pay the bills if I don't have a set salary coming in, and I haven't got clients on board so that I can start saying, okay, well, I can cover the expenses and I can start doing my work. I mean, those are considerations. They're serious ones, because they will affect not only yourself, but also your family. So you got to think about those. But I've realized that those are mostly logistics, like, okay, so this can happen, and this is what we want to happen. And how do we bridge that so that we can go straight in and do it?
And so with that in mind, talk us through the timeline then from, so day one, you're in full-time work, and are you 4 months in now, are you?
Sorry, Grant?
Sorry, are you 4 months? Is it 4 months in now? So May,
Yes.
June, July, August. Yeah, 4 or 5 months. Can you describe to the people watching the timeline from when you started, from to when you went part-time, and then when you went full-time on your own business?
Okay, so the timeline was 5th of May. I was also, of course, I was working, and I knew that the goal was to go full-time. In my mind, I had 4 months, literally 4 months in my head, that I was going to be full-time at work, and then part-time on Product Ark. But then I was going to move into full-time Product Ark end of August, hopefully maybe into September, to be full-time. And that timeline came actually a bit quicker. I was full-time a little bit sooner, which was great. And the biggest hurdle that I had to jump over, if you want to call it that, was clients, was getting out there and getting business. And from the minute that I finished my training and I was certified, which took me around about a week and a half to get done, I just started talking. I spoke to everybody. I said to them, do you have a website? Are you dealing with websites? Do you have a mobile app? Can we have a conversation? I spoke to as many people as I could about the product and about the service that we offer. And it worked out really, really well. And I must be honest, in the training sessions that you've provided, there was a very cool one, I think it was with Gareth, where he says, from the minute you know that you're in, you'll have a contact list. You'll have a bunch of contacts that you've already spoken to. You might have family, you have friends. Start talking right away. And that's exactly what I did. And I was able to build really quickly so that I can move into Product Ark as full-time.
Yeah, I'm really glad you said that, because I always say to people that the training that we give is proven. It's actually guaranteed. If you follow the process, it's guaranteed to work. If you don't follow the process exactly, results may vary. And that's the thing, that because we can't help you if you're not following the process. And one thing that you've done is you've embraced that training. You've followed the process, and that's a credit to you, because I love it when somebody joins us and they're clearly an entrepreneur, they're clearly entrepreneurial, but they've just they've just not found their thing yet. And you're a perfect example of that, of somebody who's gone from working for somebody else. I always say, you work for somebody else to make somebody else's dreams come true, or you can work for yourself to make your own dreams come true. And that's now where you're at, and you're now full-time on your business. Like I say, your energy is infectious. It'd be good actually if you just to talk a little bit about, you're always attending our training, our live training, and I remember you attended the boot camp that we did as well. Yeah, how have you found the training? Because you do interact really nicely, and it's always a pleasure to have you on board with that.
Well, thanks, Grant. You know what? I can't take, and I'll be upfront with you, I can't take any credit for all that you've done. And I think it's very important to understand this. The amount of support, the amount of training, the amount of information that Blam shares with their partners is the reason and testimony for our success. Because without that information, we would get lost. I mean, I'm just being upfront with you. You know, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Yes, I'm a business person, and I want to go out there and get business done. But what the Blam training does, and your support offers every single partner, is that there is someone that I can always go to, ask a question, get the right answers, build the strategy, understand what's happening. And this is based on all your years of experience, which you share with us. I mean, where does that come? Where do you get that? You don't get that. And it's a truth. And I call it, you care so much for our business that there is only one way for us to succeed, and that's together. And you've really shown me that. And it's a big part of why I'm so driven every day, is because when I wake up, I don't wake up saying I'm going to drive my business and what am I going to do? I drive my business for sure, but I have so much support. If I'm getting stuck somewhere, I can send Grant a WhatsApp and Grant will respond to me. That's testimony. That's what you've done. If I get onto the Blam back end and I'm asking Kobe for a meeting, he jumps on a meeting, he helps me. And that's across the board. So that's a huge part of why I'm so excited and I'm enthusiastic and I'm driven to just do more and build the business a lot. Now, I didn't answer your question, Grant. Unfortunately, I just wanted to add that in there. Can you just repeat that question for me?
So yeah, I was just asking about, and thanks for that, mate. It's really, really good to hear that, because you know, that's giving you guys, you know, Blam partners, the confidence to know that you can go out there and run your business and know that we've got your back. It's why we, you know, I always say what we're going for is over supporting people. Yeah, I want to support people so much I annoy them. that's what I'm going for, so that they can never make excuses. You know, it's we want to just give them absolutely everything, so that they can go out there and do what you're doing, you know, and making it happen. But yeah, going back to my question, it was more I mean, the boot camp is one. You always interact, you know, with the stuff that we do. We do live training twice a week, sometimes more. You know, we do a lot of interaction. Have you found that as a sort of as a way of interacting with us?
No, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The training is fantastic. And it's scheduled, which means that you can plan it ahead of time. You know exactly that you're going to get brilliant advice, and you're going to be able to grow in areas that you never thought were possible. Even when it comes to meeting with Damon Rahman, you know, you have really great conversations about your condition, your mind, your mindset. I mean, the training is brilliant. I love it. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Thursday. Whenever we're training, there is always value. And that's a testimony to what Blam does. It's not just, okay, well, let's do training because it's a part of what we do. No, let's do training so that our partners can become more successful. And that's exactly what we get. That's why I love interacting with everybody. And that's why I'm open with it. The other thing that I've noticed is that fear gets in the way of a lot of success. You know, when you're on and you're interacting, interact. You know, there's no wrong answer, no right answer. There's no weird question. There's no strange things going on. Just open up. And I've experienced that from you as well. You know, like, guys, just share with us, speak to us, you know, just be authentic and come across, and we will talk with you. We'll have conversations with you. And what I've also picked up is that you're so kind. You know, like you will give us advice when it's really good advice, but you won't throw it down our throats. Guys, you know what? If you don't do this, this is not going to. But you actually say, guys, this is great for you to grow your business. I highly recommend that you go down this road. You really lift us up, and it's always great to be part of those trainings. That's why I'll never miss them. That's why if I do miss them, I'll go back and watch the rerun, because it's so important. Because that's really what happens. The boot camp, brilliant. I just wish I could have been in England to see this. I wish I could have been at the head office so that I can interact with all of you. But it was fantastic. And again, just lots of value. It really just adds to my life, and not only to my life, but also to my family. You know, it builds you up. It fills you with confidence. It gives you knowledge. It gives you direction. What's the vision? Have you lost it? Maybe a little bit. No. Just stay down this path. We'll go through this. It's okay.
That's brilliant. No, I really appreciate you saying all that, mate. It means a lot. It does mean a lot. And interestingly, we've got a sales coach coming in to do a live interview today. So
Wow.
yeah, we do live training every Wednesday. So we've got a guy coming in to teach us some new techniques. I always say you're always learning. You know, you never know it all. And I always want to hear from people, from other people, particularly in sales, entrepreneurial type stuff. Really, really important. So look, I'm really looking forward to that one, must admit.
Yeah, me
Hear what he's
too.
got to say. Yeah. Fantastic. So listen, Peter, you've been an absolute pleasure talking to you. How can people reach out to you if they want to find out more? They might want to buy a website off you. They might want to buy an app off you. Where can they find you?
Well, that's very simple. All you need to do is go to www.productark.com. That's my website, and then you can communicate with me directly there, or you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, if that's your case, if that's what you want, or just send me a direct email at peter@productark.com, and we can have a real conversation about building your business and helping you grow online.
And this guy's
If you
good.
want,
He is good.
if you want, I can give you my cell number. It's 076 982 0643. I'm always available, and I just love talking to business owners that just want to build their business.
Fantastic. Peter, as ever, you're an absolute legend. Appreciate all your kind words, mate. Very best of luck. I know you're going to be an absolute Goliath in South Africa with your business. I can't wait to see what you're going to do next.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you again. This is not just me saying it. Thank you so much for every single thing that you do for my business, for my family, and for our clients. Thank you.
More than welcome, mate. My absolute pleasure. Thanks, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers for now.